Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube page. We're heading to Week 12 in the NFL season, which means we're also heading into Week 12 on the fantasy football side of things as well. And depending on how your league is set up, Week 12 could be a very important week for you. I know for leagues that do not play Week 17, this is the second to last weekend of the regular season, and everyone's jockeying for playoff position. So we're just going to give you a rundown of the big injuries and kind of separate it into three sections. First, most importantly, the game time decisions for this week as we head into Week 12. Guys you want to monitor closely and, be on the lookout for any changes in their status. First one, and the biggest one for fantasy owners, is LeSean McCoy. McCoy, right now, he's playing a Monday night game tomorrow night against the Panthers, and all reports we're hearing is that he's a long shot to play. If you're looking for a viable backup for him, while the Panthers probably don't have anyone available in your league that's going to play, LeSean McCoy's backup, Bryce Brown, may be still available in your leagues, depending on how deep your leagues are. And, if Shady can't go, at least you have a somewhat viable backup to go there. The next game time decision that could affect your roster is Antonio Brown, the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver. He's listed as questionable as he heals his sprained ankle. We want to see in the pregame, usually with receivers, especially ankles, he'll go out and test it beforehand, and we should get an update on his status after the warm-ups for the Steelers on Sunday as they travel for a divisional matchup with the Browns. The next guy up is a running back that could be on your roster. You may not be using him anymore because the buys have cleared. But Larod Stevens-Howling from the Arizona Cardinals, he's listed as questionable. But with Beanie Wells, who looks like he's going to play today, obviously, Stevens-Howling has less fantasy value. But hey, just in case he's one of your favorites by any chance, or you play in a deep league with all of these different flex players and everything, Larod Stevens-Howling, game time decision. And lastly, is Coby Fleener of the Indianapolis Colts. All indications are he will not play in this game. And with the emergence of Dwayne Allen, which looks like the more preferred target of Andrew Luck to this point in the season, Fleener has very little value anyway. But again, just a name to throw out there. As we head down the list here, we'll go over some guys that are expected to play. These are guys that may have been on your injury report earlier in the week. You were monitoring their status, and now they're expected to play. First, we'll take the two Chicago Bears, Brandon Marshall, Jay Cutler. If you didn't hear, yesterday Jay Cutler was cleared to play by the doctors following his concussion. So he is expected to start today for the Bears. Also, his best receiver, Brandon Marshall, who I'm sure is active in all formats when healthy, practiced full on Friday. He's coming off an injured shoulder, and he should be good for Sunday as well. So you'll have Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall both expected to play today for the Bears. Julio Jones practiced on a limited basis this week. He's expected to play. He did practice towards the end of the week, but don't expect him to be the explosive, get down the field Julio Jones that you've known him to come to be. He may be a little bit limited today. As a fantasy owner, he may not have any viable options other than him, but just keep that in mind. Darren Sproles has also been practicing fully all week, and he looks as a go to return this weekend in their pivotal game versus the 49ers. Ahmad Bradshaw, he's also listed as probable. He was limited in practice on Friday, dealing with the same injuries he has been all year, but he's expected to play on Sunday as well. Fred Jackson missed last week's game with a concussion, but he's expected to go this week as well. Fred Jackson for the Bills. As we mentioned before, Beanie Wells will be back today versus the Rams at running back for the Cardinals. He's coming off the IR, so while he'll have a role, it's unclear how expansive of a role he'll have, but he will be back in uniform, which again will affect Larod Stevens-Howling, as we went over before. Darius Hayward-Bay practiced full on Friday, so he should be all set when the Raiders visit the Bengals today. Lastly, Dennis Pitta has been cleared by the doctors to play. The tight end for the Ravens, Dennis Pitta, has been cleared after a concussion last week. Now, lastly, these are the guys that are expected to sit. These are guys all week that it looked like they weren't going to play, and they aren't going to play. And just to confirm things for you, Percy Harvin came out yesterday. He'll be out after not practicing all week. I know we're all hoping he gets back for the playoffs if you own him, but he's out this week. Michael Vick, obviously, is out again this week with a concussion. Nick Foles will get the start again today. Greg Jennings, still hurt. The word is he's making progress, but he will not be able to go today. And he's a guy you'll have to insert as soon as he does come back from injury into your lineup. Danny Amendola from the Rams. He has a 425 start, but all indications are now is that he won't go on Sunday versus the Cardinals. But monitor him because it's a late start. If there was one guy we could maybe see getting in there out of this list, it's Amendola, but all indications are he won't play today. Mike Goodson and Darren McFadden, but Mike Goodson and Darren McFadden both out today. And if you can pick up Marcel Reese, he looks like again he'll be the main running back out there in Oakland as they travel to play the Bengals. Jason Avant, wide receiver for the Eagles, didn't practice on Friday. The Eagles don't play until Monday, and to be honest, the risk you would have to take starting someone like Avant with the reward maybe not being that good anyway, even if he by chance plays, he's probably not someone that'll make it into your lineup. So that's the Week 12 Fantasy Football Injury Report. And hey, good luck with your fantasy teams this week as you make that push for the playoffs.